They say that only the good die young. But what if you're the most powerful woman in the world? Do you get to write your own ending? Or do other people decide for you? Welcome to my channel. Today we will meet a queen who had everything going for her: power, fame, and beauty. But it was her death that made her immortal. When you hear the name Cleopatra, the first thing that comes to mind is a beautiful seductress, perhaps because of Hollywood's obsession with her looks, or maybe because of that one scene in Asterix and Cleopatra. But this famous queen was more than just a pretty face. In fact, she was probably quite ugly. Cleopatra was born in 69 BC in the city of Alexandria. Her father, Ptolemy XII, was the last active pharaoh of Ptolemaic Egypt. He ruled Egypt along with his wife, Cleopatra's mother, and they were so obsessed with their own looks that they spent a fortune on cosmetic surgery and beauty products. You know you've gone too far when even your slaves look better than you. And that was the case with Cleopatra. According to Plutarch, Cleopatra looked like a corpse, but dressed in fine clothes and makeup, she didn't look half bad. Her mother died when Cleopatra was just 14 years old, and her father decided to marry one of his advisors, a baroness. Much to Cleopatra's dismay, just 4 years later, he would also pass away, leaving the throne to Cleopatra and her 10-year-old brother Ptolemy XIII. The two became lovers and ruled the Egyptian kingdom together, even though Cleopatra wasn't really into him. There's no record of any children from this relationship, but they did produce a lot of propaganda. It said that Cleopatra loved luxury and fine arts, but she was also a shrewd politician and a brilliant strategist. She spoke 9 languages, including Egyptian, which was practically unheard of at the time. And she used her intelligence and charm to keep Egypt prosperous and stable, something her father never managed to do. But Cleopatra was not the only one with an interest in politics. Rome was also becoming increasingly involved in Egyptian affairs, and it didn't take long for them to send an envoy to investigate. This is how Octavian, later known as Augustus, the first emperor of Rome, got involved. He was initially sent to settle a dispute between Cleopatra and her brother, but soon found himself under her spell. According to the propaganda, Cleopatra seduced him with her beauty, and while that might be true, she also had something else up her sleeve: her intellect. She was known for her sharp wit and intelligence, and she knew how to use it to her advantage. When Augustus challenged her on her knowledge of Roman literature, she surprised him with her understanding of Virgil and Homer. In fact, she was so well-read that she even wrote poetry and plays herself. Augustus returned to Rome, having fallen head over heels in love with Cleopatra, both in real life and in the propaganda. That, however, was not the case with the Roman Senate. They considered Cleopatra a dangerous seductress who had bewitched Augustus and threatened to destroy Rome. And so they pressured him to break up with her. Augustus chose Rome and abandoned Cleopatra, leaving her pregnant. The propaganda had been successful. Cleopatra was now seen as a monster who had bewitched Rome's greatest emperor. And there was only one way to stop her: to kill her. But Cleopatra wasn't about to go down without a fight. She knew that she couldn't win a war with Rome, but she could make it very costly. So she gathered her forces and prepared to defend herself. In the end, Cleopatra's forces were no match for Rome, and she was forced to flee. She took her own life before the Romans could capture her and bring her to justice. Was Cleopatra a victim of her own beauty, or was she a shrewd ruler who used her looks to get what she wanted? We may never know the truth, but one thing is for sure: she was a legend who lived life on her own terms until the very end. What did you think of Cleopatra? Let me know in the comments. And don't forget to subscribe for more videos like this. See you next time.